Hello, my friends. Thank you for taking time to watch this video as we start a new year studying the New Testament. I had grand hopes that this would be in person, but hopefully that day will come soon. In the meantime, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to kind of do our YouTube Institute, we can call it that, and excited to study the New Testament with you. And for those of you that are new, at least while we do this video approach to Institute, at the beginning of each week I'll post a video, and the idea is that you'll study the lesson, come prepared, and spend time going through what we talk about. And hopefully this meets your schedule needs and also maybe your spiritual needs, more importantly. So would you just take a minute, and you can pause it after this question, but what part of the New Testament has impacted you? Whether it's a story, whether it's a person, whether it's a teaching. There's a lot of answers here, but if you don't mind just pausing for a second and think of at least a couple examples of the New Testament that you have been impacted by. As always, I wish we were in person to discuss those answers, but I would love for you to continue to think about those and things that have impacted you about the New Testament. I just want to introduce the New Testament I think it's important, a few things that we need to understand about the New Testament in order to appreciate it, use it, apply it. Probably not the favorite thing of all of us, but I want to just do a quiz with you. How well do you know the New Testament and its origins? First off, how many New Testament books are there? Take a guess. There are actually 27 New Testament books, and different authors and different perspectives, different lives, and even in many ways different purposes. Speaking of those purposes, I want to focus for just a minute on the Gospels. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Any guesses on how many chapters are in the Gospels? Definitely the most read part of the New Testament. There's actually 89 chapters. So when you think about that, of those 89 chapters, and how much is dedicated to the Savior, to his life, it's interesting that actually about 30% of that 90 chapters is dedicated to his last week of life. The authors in there dedicate the majority of their time to that, and that should make sense, right? I guess why we understand about what he accomplished his last week of life, what he did, his life, his death, his resurrection. The authors of the Gospels focused on that heavily. Another thing to think about is the actual author's intent. In other words, it's important to understand what were they trying to accomplish, who were they writing to. Let me give you a quick quiz. You'll probably see a pattern in this, but do you know who Matthew was writing to? Jews, Romans, Greeks, or church members? If you said Jews, you were correct. Matthew was writing to the Jews. That was his audience. So that matters as you study the book of Matthew, understanding that he was speaking to the Jews, understanding the context, the historical context there. Mark, who was Mark writing to? If you guessed Romans, you are correct. Again, same principle. Speaking to the Romans had a different connotation. Luke, who was Luke writing to? I think you probably see the pattern. Luke was writing to the Greeks. And then last of all, John was writing to church members. As we understand who they're speaking to, this does change what we're reading and why we're reading it. What kind of book is the New Testament? Speaking of that, is it a book of stories? Is it there's a lot of things you could qualify books as. Is it a commentary book? There's a lot of things that we could say that the New Testament is. When it comes down to it, and I won't sing this to you because I want you to stay on the video, but there's a song, if you grew up in the church, that we sang about tell me the stories of Jesus. And these are great stories of Jesus. But if we look at it as stories, I think we miss a huge part of why we're studying. Truly, the New Testament are testimonies of those called by God to teach salvation and how to attain it. And there are stories, but they're more than stories. And as you look for yourself in these stories, if you look for the Savior, you'll find them. But we need to go beyond that. We need to find ways to not only read, study, but apply them into our life. And these testimonies were given for us to connect us to the Savior in our day. Just as a goal, I think this semester, and we may do this 1 or 2 semesters this year, we'll see. Elder Perry said the New Testament is the centerpiece of our scriptural history. Just as the Savior himself should be the centerpiece of our lives, we must commit ourselves to study it and treasure it. One of the things that I'm hoping as we study the New Testament is that you find yourself better connected to the Savior as you treasure the New Testament. And we have the wonderful quote about the Book of Mormon being the center, the cornerstone of our faith and the most correct book. I love that Elder Perry gives this thought of the New Testament is the centerpiece of our scriptural history. That's so true. The Savior's life is dedicated in here, and what a great opportunity that we have to study it and treasure it. And I hope in your own way that you find a way to treasure it and for your own needs. So beginning of next week, so next Monday, we'll post the first lesson. If you'll download the New Testament student manual, you'll notice the readings that are there. In the student manual, you'll notice that we'll be studying. So we'll do two chapters a week. So today was the intro, and so next week's lesson will be chapters 2 and 3, which is Matthew 1 to 7. So look forward to spending time with you, even though it be virtual for now. And again, thanks for taking the time. Lord bless you. And we will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.